MVP. Goal swung, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb in the first. One swing. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you after a 2-1 Texas Rangers loss at the hands of the Toronto Blue Jays. Do we have to? Do we have to? Some of these games, man, they try your fandom. They really do. Jacob deGrom exits a little early today, but pitches well enough to win. Much like Patrick Corbin yesterday before the late inning heroics, Rangers get one run off of a Wyatt Langford screaming line drive of a home run. Not able to do a whole lot else. Rough game to be at, Flash Cannon. I'm with you. For all y'all that were there tonight, I am with you on that one. Absolutely a rough game to be at. Look, definitely on this Memorial Day, would be remiss not to say thank you so much, first of all, to all of the veterans out there, the people that have served, that were willing to make the ultimate sacrifice, the people that are currently serving, willing to make that sacrifice themselves, and then the people that gave their lives, that made the ultimate sacrifice in all of the different battles, wars that our country has been through over its history. I salute you. Here at Right on Rangers, we salute you, and I know that I can probably speak for a lot of y'all in saluting all those that have and all those that continue to put their lives on the line for our great country. Happy Memorial Day. Wish the Rangers could have done you a little bit more proud today, but alas, we live to fight another day tomorrow with Nathan Eovaldi on the mound. Can we get a little bit more offense tomorrow? Who knows? We'll probably get some really good pitching. But the offense, big question mark at this point. We're going to get into everything here in just a little bit. I'm going to do my best to point out some positives along the way. You got something to get off your chest, let it loose in the chat. We'll get to it. But first, here Right on Rangers, we cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers and especially the Rangers during the 2025 MLB season. Thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Appreciate the support. Drop a comment, drop a question in the chat. If I get on a rant and you want to make sure that the comment gets read, I may ask you to kindly post it again. We don't duck a whole lot on the show. Definitely got to sift through some of the trolling and the nonsense, but we're not ducking anything. We will take the questions and comments. If I miss it, it's a genuine mistake. I'll ask you to repost it. Let me start here. I was pretty amazed that this is the first time in Jacob deGrom's career that he has not struck a batter out. And I think it's a 5+ inning. I'm assuming like it's some kind of minimum innings pitch. But the first start where he has not struck out a batter. Pretty crazy. And I said this during the game, but with Jacob deGrom, it's wild. He's so good that even on the off days, even on a Jacob deGrom, like quote, air quote, off day, you look up and he's almost pitched a quality start. Like he went 5 1/3, gave up 2 runs. The dude's almost pitched a quality start. And you're kind of sitting to yourself during the game just saying, hey, he just seems off today. I mean, but putting it in context, 2 earned runs and nearly 6 innings pitched, a quality start by the MLB measured and standard. I mean, just crazy. Just crazy. Jacob deGrom, by the way, looked like he maybe was dealing with a little bit of a blister issue. I know that they kind of were pumping it up before the game that they were looking to potentially get him some rest. I mean, assuming that you actually had a lead in the 5th or 6th inning, I think the plan was let's get up early. Kevin Gausman, though, has just dominated the Rangers. They really did need Corey Seager today. I think he is the Kevin Gausman whisperer. Definitely saw him on the field taking some healthy cuts, but sounds like we're going to have to wait maybe tomorrow, maybe a little bit later in the homestand for Corey Seager. And I think Evan Carter is on a similar track, but the club has come out and said that Evan Carter will in all likelihood be going on a rehab assignment. Corey Seager, pretty typical, pretty standard, doesn't really go out on those. So we'll probably see Corey Seager back a little bit earlier than Evan Carter. We keep on going. Diego, my bad, man. Money on deGrom strikeouts. Ooh. Yeah, not a great day for a deGrom strikeouts prop bet. Needless to say, I'll tell you what, I've had the worst luck. I think I've told y'all this. Whenever I have ever taken the time to go and look through prop bets, usually it's like for big games, like playoff games or the Super Bowl, something bad always happens. Like the guy that I bet on to have a certain amount of yards or hits or strikeouts, like leaves the game early, has to exit with an injury. I've just had the worst luck with prop bets. Now, I think over the course of however long I've lived out here in Vegas, I've gotten lucky on a couple of them. But I tend to stay away from the prop bets for this very reason, Diego. I just haven't had luck. Some people swear by them. I have not had good luck with them. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Gio, what's good, man? Rangers are now 3-11 in one-run games in their last 14. Remember when they started the season like 6-0 or 7-0 in one-run games? And I told y'all then, I don't know if this is sustainable. And here we are. Gio, what's good, man, though? Thank you, my friend, for tuning in. I appreciate you. Teresa, hi, how are you? And Sean, what's good, man? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you as well. Time to refresh the roster, embrace a little youth movement. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because point number 2, D-Stel, appreciate you. Point number 2 that I wanted to make today. Was there any better example, like 2 at-bat sequence, than Alejandro Osuna hitting right in front of Adolis Garcia? And I want to rewind a little bit here. I want to rewind to, I believe it was the bottom of the 7th inning. Maybe the bottom of, the bottom of the 5th inning. It happened in the 5th inning and the 7th inning. So you had Sam Haggerty, in the bottom of the 5th, ultimately striking out to end the frame. But before that, you had Jonah Heim single, bottom of the 5th. You had Alejandro Osuna with his first major league hit. This is all bottom of the 5th inning. And by the way, congratulations to Alejandro Osuna. First major league hit, soft opposite field line drive. He would add on to that total in the 7th inning. We're going to get to that in a second. But, I mean, this is like a perfect microcosm of the Rangers season and the problems that the Rangers have had offensively, but also of the debate that just got brought up with the youth movement potentially happening that D-Stel brought up. So you have Alejandro Osuna, single, Dolly comes up, and you just need the ball in play. You need the ball in play. First of all, Adolis, bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch he gets from Gausman is a fastball right down the middle. This is bottom of the 5th. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Alejandro Osuna has just collected his first major league hit. Dolly fouls off the fastball right down the middle. I just talked to y'all about this last night. We've been talking about it all season. The Rangers have such an issue consistently hitting fastballs right down the middle. You either see them take it or foul it off. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. And Gausman is not throwing 100-mile-an-hour cheddar. This is 94 center cut to Adolis on the first pitch, and you foul it off. You're in trouble already. Then pitch number 2, you get a ball. Pitch number 3, you spit on a splitter, so it's 2-1. Then Dolly swings at a splitter below the strike zone, and he strikes out on a splitter even lower in the strike zone. And now you have a situation where first and second, one out, you failed to advance the runner with no outs, which automatically drops your chances of actually scoring in the inning. I mean, again, the two AB sequence there, Osuna, nice AB, keeping it going. Dolly just needing to simplify, situationally hit, and you get a strikeout on two bad pitches back to back. Then let's fast forward to the seventh inning. So in the seventh inning, you had Alejandro Osuna trying to get the 2-out rally going, singles on a line drive, opposite field, beautiful piece of hitting. Adolis comes up and he fouls off the first pitch, a fastball that was outside, swings through a fastball that was probably, I think, pretty hittable out over the plate. Gosman ramped it up a little bit, 96-mile-an-hour fastball, a little high, a little on the outer half, just ever so slightly. Dolly swings through it. So again, trouble with the fastball. And then swings at a pitch about 2 feet above the zone. And by the way, Alejandro Osuna had second base stolen. No reason for Adolis to be swinging at a pitch like this. And you know what's frustrating is Adolis in his line of sight can see the jump Osuna got. I mean, I know those of y'all that have played the game, when a runner on first has gotten a killer jump. You know it. And Adolis in the bottom of the seventh inning with Osuna on first sees the jump and still goes ahead and swings at a pitch 2 feet above the zone. It's exactly what I've been saying over the past week, really, with Adolis. Awesome hit to really emphasize that game winner in the ninth. I know it was a tie game at that point, but Adolis, clutch hit yesterday. It feels like one step forward, two steps back with this team and with certain individuals on the team. And with Adolis, by the way, I just don't even want to hear the excuse, the BS, the line of logic. But the defense is so good, you've got to keep him in the lineup. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Like, there's everybody trying to pump up how many runs Adolis prevents. How many runs is Adolis preventing by doing what he did in the bottom of the seventh inning? By doing what he did in the bottom of the fifth inning? I just don't want to hear the people parading around the defense like it's preventing so many runs when, interestingly enough, the bat is preventing so many runs from actually scoring. It's just a place that I can't go. The people that want to champion the defense of Adolis Garcia, even Marcus Semien, I get that it's what's keeping them in the lineup. I don't want to hear it as some kind of solace, as some kind of excuse. Oh, well, at least he's playing really good defense. Yeah, he's leaving runs and preventing us from scoring on offense. I just don't even get the people that are willing to take the really good defense over the really, really bad offense. It just makes no sense to me. I really don't understand it. How could you watch his at-bat in the fifth or the seventh and say to yourself, well, yeah, at least the defense is good? Come on now. And I told y'all, look, regardless of what Adolis does, unless he goes on a monster heater, and I'm talking monster heater over the month of June, like ALCS in Houston type heater, trade him. Get the value that you can get out of him. I think it's a very small sample size with Alejandro Osuna, and I want to be careful. Osuna, it's an extremely small sample size. But can we all agree that he passes the eye test? He passes the eye test with flying colors. Y'all saw the play that he made in Chicago, diving, saving runs. The dude's got the glove, the plate presence. He looks comfy. He looks poised. He doesn't look over his skis at all. And look, Kevin Gausman, in my mind, good, solid MLB pitcher. If you wanted to say yesterday, yeah, he's playing the White Sox. He's facing White Sox pitchers. Look, Kevin Gausman today, I know there's not a lot of tape out on Alejandro Osuna at this point for teams to mess around with. That is going to be the moment. If Alejandro Osuna can adjust when teams start adjusting to him. But right now, Dude passes the eye test with flying colors. He looks comfortable up there. He doesn't look kind of like Foscue and honestly Blaine Crim did when they first came up. Lost. Foscue, I know he got the hit off of Hader as his first major league hit. After that, he went on that epically bad 0 for 39. And Jock Peterson took the record off his hands, fortunately for Justin Foscue. But Foscue, Crim, Wenzel, those guys looked lost when they came up to the big leagues. I think you feel the exact opposite of that with Alejandro Osuna up at the plate. I think you feel like he's kind of an Evan Carter September 2023 type guy right now. Dude's commanding the strike zone, has a very good feel for what a ball and what a strike is. You don't see him looking silly on pitches out of the zone, whether it's a fastball 2 feet above or whether it's an off-speed pitch down and away. You see Osuna really, really comfortable up there. And I must say, he passes the eye test. Over time, we're going to be able to tell whether or not he really belongs. But at this point, I am more than willing to have Alejandro Osuna be the guy out there over Adolis Garcia. Trade Adolis and let Alejandro cook. I'm serious. This is not an emotional hot take. I've said this when Adolis hit the near home run. Yesterday, he thought he had a home run, by the way. Adolis wasn't really jogging out of the box very much on that White Sox hit. Thankfully, he still got the second. But look, whether it's yesterday, Dolly winning the game, or today, Dolly being a big reason why we lost the game. Personally, I still say you trade him. And this is coming from a guy that loves Adolis Garcia. Loves everything that he did in 2023 for this squad. And I know that there's going to be some people that get it twisted and think I'm just a hater. I'm not. I love Dolly. But this is why we're losing ball games. Bad at bats, bad discipline up at the plate, swinging at complete crap in key situations. I don't think it's going to get better. I do not think it's going to get better. It's been since the beginning of 2024. The people that come at me with it's just a slump. Really? A season and a half, or in this case, a season and a third, if we want to be more technical. This has been going on for 1.33 seasons. Come on now. At what point are you not calling it a slump anymore and saying, this is what he is right now? I don't know what it's going to take for some people to get over that hill on Adolis Garcia, but it's not a slump. This is a clear regression. It's been going on for a season and a third. I look at Adolis Garcia's at-bats tonight, and it's everything that the Rangers have been struggling with. Can't situationally hit, can't get the clutch hit in enough situations. Parade yesterday's game all you want. He does hit in the clutch. Yeah, I can probably give you about 20 other moments for that one where it wasn't clutch. I'm sorry. I'm out. I think that Adolis Garcia does need to get traded. I think you could still get some value out of him. Everybody that was trying to tell me nobody's going to want Adolis, just remember there was a team that wanted Leody Taveras. If there's a team that wants Leody, there's a team that wants Adolis. Seriously. If there is a team that wants Leody, there's a team that will take Adolis Garcia. Philip, you might be onto something, brother. And guys, I know I was on one right there, so I apologize if I missed your comment. Fires me right up when you've got rookies with better approaches than veterans. What are we doing? And you look at the rest of the box score, it's not pretty. Josh Schmidt, 0 for 4. OPS is down to 718. What has happened to Josh H. Smith? You've got, let's see, Simeon 0 for 3. 489 OPS. He had creeped up over 500 for a second there. I thought we were cooking with gas. Nope. All right, y'all. You've been patient. You've been awesome. I needed to get that one off my chest. Now I got to get to y'all and make sure you guys are taken care of. I appreciate all y'all hanging out. The camo, by the way, the camo hat, I know that y'all can't see it. I'll go over a little bit. My camo hat over there to the left. That one was last year's cap, which I loved. I love last year's cap. This year's cap, I got to be real with you. I'll probably get it at some point just because I want to support the vets and I want to support the armed forces. But I don't love it. But I'm a guy that gravitates toward darker hats. I've told y'all about that. I just do. So that's me. But I don't know if it's limited. I bet you could probably get it somewhere still. I don't know. Yeah, Gio, I'm with you. Look, they moved him down, but nevertheless, I've been saying this so long, y'all. The RBI spots in the big moments find you. They find you. And for me, Gio, I can't excuse Adolis Garcia. Well, he's hitting in the 8th spot. So now the pressure's off of him, and we can't really expect him to come through. And if he just gets one hit in a meaningless situation, it totally negates the other situations where you're not doing even the most simplest of things correct. I just can't go there, my friend. I definitely appreciate the sentiment. Yes, he's lower in the order, but I definitely still think that he is going to be held to a higher standard regardless of where he's at. He's a guy that the Rangers counted on in 23. He's a guy that's hit 4th and 5th. You've moved him down this far, and I don't think you moved him down to totally excuse him from sucking. I think you moved him down just trying to throw him a branch, trying to throw him a lifeline. But make no mistake, the Rangers are not excusing Adolis Garcia just because he's hitting 8th. And Gio, I'm totally with you. He's not the only one, because I know that's going to be a counterpoint. He's not the only one. You're right. But he is one of the worst ones. One of the worst defenders. So I'm with you. Wyatt Langford, he did have a home run today. So I don't know if it's a great day to name drop Wyatt as the problem. Dude provided the only offense. But I could go with you on Marcus Semien. I could go with you on Josh Smith. Look, even Haggerty. We got Haggerty and Josh Smith up at the top of the lineup right now. Haggerty, over his last 7 games, is hitting 172. That's our leadoff hitter, man. Josh Smith, over his last 7 games. It was ugly the other day. He's hitting .083. He's hitting .083 over his last 7. So look, Gio, it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything. I totally am with you, man. Adolis is definitely the guy I'm gravitating towards, but it's a little bit of everything today. Everybody had a part. Absolutely. Daniel, happy Memorial Day. Appreciate you, brother. All right, TikTok, let's go. Post your comment again if I missed it. I'm locked in right now. Is Seager back tomorrow? I hope so. Please, I hope so. We got to get Corey Seager back. Jake Berger has been outstanding, Dylan. I'm totally with you. Bochy and CY are going to be fired by the end of the season. Man, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be a firing, but Bochy with only a year left on the contract, that might be a nice let-go time. I don't know if CY is going to get fired, though. Dude just got promoted to president. They came out, Bearded Clone, they came out and they said that Rocker is not going to the pen. And by they, I mean CY and Bruce Bochy. They both commented on it, and they said that those rumors are not accurate, although they let maybe a little wiggle room. What's up with Luke Jackson? He's not going to be the closer anymore. Bochy said he is essentially, for now, done with Luke Jackson closer experiment. I don't know why it took him May 26th to be done, but that's what he said. I need Seager to get 130 hits this year. That'd be nice. Bradford as closer? No. How about Gray as closer? I'd much rather John Gray be the closer. Cody Bradford, for me, you want him in the starting rotation. I don't think you want to make Cody Bradford the closer. Dolly is hurting this team, trying to hit a different zip code every at bat. Avery, I'm totally with you. I am totally with you. Yep, I'm with you. Look, Adolis isn't making a ton of money. So one man's voice, that'd be my only rebuttal. Look, if you've been with us the whole show, you've heard me go off on Dolly. But look, he's not making the most money right now. It's Simeon that you definitely got to be going in on. All of y'all that have been hanging with me after every game, I've definitely said my piece about Marcus Simeon. Like, if you could do something with Marcus Simeon, you would, but you can't because of the contract. But I'm with you. The guys getting paid the most need the most criticism. Corey, I think as much as I love Corey, I think the injury-prone criticism with him is fair. It might be dumb luck. It might be Corey needing to take care of his body a little bit better or do more preventative work. It might be the Rangers staff. I don't know. JJ, what's good, man? Yeah, it is a broken record with this team. Totally. I was looking at our prospects, and we don't have too many that truly excite me. Here's who I'm excited about prospect-wise. I'm excited about Osuna. I'm excited about Marcus Smith, who has been crushing it in AAA. I'm excited about Marcus Smith. And Teodo, I'm excited about him, although he's got over an 8 ERA right now. All y'all talking about bringing up Teodo, dude's been getting hit around in AAA. I'm not saying that we have to get super worried about it, but I don't think this is Teodo time. Teodo is kind of trying to figure it out after, I think, dealing with a little bit of an injury and coming back from that. I don't think this is Teodo time right now. Teodo, definitely a guy I like long-term. I don't think this is the time to bring up Teodo. Yeah, rumors of Rocker being moved to closer got shut down a little bit by CY and Boch today. I think they maybe left the door open a crack, but I don't think that Kumar Rocker is going to be the guy. I'm not in love with it anyways, y'all. You only move Kumar Rocker to closer if you really see him more in the bullpen long term. Otherwise, look, the Rangers, we have to agree on this. The Rangers have not been great at developing pitching. I don't want to see them screw up Kumar Rocker by moving him to the bullpen out of desperation when you should have gone out and you should have gotten a closer type pitcher in free agency, or you should trade for one. I don't want to see them screw up Kumar Rocker's development, moving him to the bullpen. And y'all, I know some of you guys might think, whatever, throwing in the pen, it's no big deal. It doesn't mess with the development at all. I guess I can only relate to you my own experience talking with other guys that have been around the game and my own experience with the game. Baseball players are creatures of habit. It's a rare breed of ball player that can just on a whim go a totally different direction in the routine, in the process. And I just think you're asking for it, moving Kumar Rocker around into different roles. I'd rather them put him back in the starting rotation or put him back in AAA and just let him develop. Dude has a lot of career left. You don't want to do something stupid out of desperation and move him to the pen. We don't even know how he's going to do out there in the pen. That's my thing. Like, it'd be one thing if you were thinking it's a pretty sure shot Kumar Rocker is going to be successful. For all we know, he is going to totally crap the bed in his first outing as a closer, and we're all going to be like, what were we thinking? Not worth it to me. If we had 5 more Osunas, we could have won this one. 100%. John, I'm with you. Appreciate seeing you on here, by the way. But look, all y'all long-time Right on Rangers supporters, I got to tell you, anytime I see you pop in after a game like this, it always makes me feel a little better. All right, I got somebody. I got somebody in my corner. I'm just saying. John, appreciate you, brother. Look, this was absolutely a game where if you had 5 Osunas, you probably win. But unfortunately, we don't, man. Unfortunately, we do not. Moving Rocker loses a lot of value as a closer. One large scoop. Hash that out a little bit more. Give me a little bit more on that one. You might be onto something, but I want a little bit more. If you can type it out for me, brother, I'd appreciate it. Haggerty should not be the DH. Yeah. I think the Haggerty experience is probably going to come to an end. Look, it's going to get interesting when Seager comes back. It's going to get interesting. And it's going to get interesting when Evan Carter comes back. What do you do when Evan Carter comes back and you've got a good hitting, a hot hitting maybe Alejandro Osuna? I don't know. Time frame for Peterson, Dylan. I think it's probably going to be about 6 to 8 weeks. Usually that's what it is for fractures, unless Jock swings a bat and it really isn't affecting him. I don't know. But most fractures, it's like 6 to 8 weeks. deGrom and Malley, not worth top 10 prospects. Look, I think deGrom would get you some good prospects, and I think Malley would probably get you maybe a good AAA prospect or a good AA prospect, maybe. Probably AA. I don't think they're trading deGrom or Evo. I do think Malley's going to be on the table depending on the next month of baseball. We'll see what happens. Thank you. One large scoop. This is my 1,000% opinion. I think Kumar Rocker is way more valuable to you as a starter. And so I want to see the Rangers take a wide view on this one. Don't be narrow-minded. You are the reason, front office, why we don't have a better arm closing games right now out in the bullpen. Don't screw up Kumar Rocker and his development, throwing him out in the pen when you should have gone out and either traded for somebody in the offseason or signed somebody in the offseason that could be closing out games for us right now. I get it. They were a little hamstrung with the salary, not wanting to go over the luxury tax. Again, trade John Gray in the offseason and go get a closer. You free up $13 million. There were options, and the Rangers decided not to do it. So, look, if you're going to go out and get somebody at the deadline, fine, but don't use Kumar Rocker as a bridge to that. Put somebody else back there. Robert Garcia, I think, has had a little bit of a rocky last 3 outings, but he would appear to be the best choice. Until Chris Martin comes back, Luke Jackson, I think, is done as closer, according to Boch. We'll see. Keep going. They were banking heavy on this offense, Dylan, totally. Look, in that, for me, that is where you can definitely blame Chris Young. A lot of Rangers fans don't want to touch CY. He's untouchable. That, to me, is the one thing you can really point to is Chris Young overestimated what this offense was really going to be. Last year, he had the belief, much like all of us, that the offense was going to pull through. You added Berger, you added Peterson, but let's be real. The belief was that a lot of the regression we saw in 24 was going to head back in a positive direction, and it hasn't so far. And at the third mark in the season, at the 33% mark, I don't think we can just say it's been a slow start. You're a third into the season at this point. Cedric Mullins, a good trade target. I think we talked a little bit about Mullins, and my overall opinion on Cedric Mullins was I don't know if he's a sure enough shot to go out and get. He's hitting 226 on the season. Do we really need to add any more 220 hitters to this lineup? I think no. I don't think you go out and get anybody that's not hitting above 250. I can deal with the 250. I don't think you can go out and get anybody hitting 220 and expect them to be the fix for this lineup. Look, Mullins' OPS is a little more respectable at 767. Look, in my school of training, a 750 to an 800 OPS is pretty pedestrian. It's fine. It's not bad. It's not elite by any means, and it's not great. So I don't know. I don't really want to go make a trade for an average player. And right now, Cedric Mullins appears to be playing pretty average. The other thing about Mullins, he's an outfielder. You've got a logjam in the outfield already. You've got Carter. You've got Garcia. Maybe he'll get moved. You've got Osuna. I'd rather have Osuna than Cedric Mullins. Agreed? I'd rather have Osuna right now playing than go get Cedric Mullins and spend capital. So my thought would be if you've got Osuna and you want to go get an outfielder, don't look any further. Don't go waste prospects to go get Mullins when you've got an outfielder in Osuna that could easily come up and be a contributor in the lineup. Brett looks so done with this team. Jimmy Bones, I mean, look, I like Booney and I like the energy. He seriously, though, I mean, was never going to turn this all around. I mean, they've said it so many times, it's going to be a slow process. I just think at this point, Boone is not the reason why they're struggling. If they have a nice game, he's not going to be the reason they suddenly break out. I'm more interested to see how the young guys develop under Boone than anything. Yeah, Philip, I'm with you. Philip, if you're still hanging out, I appreciate all the comments, brother. I've said this as well, and I like this phrase. I haven't really coined it in this way. Philip, I like this. Soft reset. If you're not definitely making the playoffs around the deadline, I'm all for a soft reset. And what I mean by that is you don't go crazy. You don't trade Evo. You don't trade deGrom. You don't trade Young or any of the cornerstone pieces. But you do trade guys like Malley. You trade guys like John Gray. You trade Adolis. You trade guys that have less than 2 years left on the contract. You take Jonah Heim and you see what teams would be willing to give you for a Jonah Heim. Jonah's going to be an unrestricted free agent in 2027. He's got less than 2 years of control left. We went through this the other day. Anybody with less than 2 years of control, I think anyways, could be somebody that you're potentially putting on the trade block. Justin Veely, one of the hitting coaches, got ejected. So there you go. I think anybody under 2 years is going to be somebody that the Rangers will shop around. I think that is going to be a thing. So we'll see. I'm going to read you the names one more time. I 100% think they need to trade Adolis as well. Like, whatever happens, I think they need to trade Adolis, get some value out of him, let Osuna play. Osuna is not going to give you less value than Adolis. Do not come at me with Adolis has a better glove. He's better in the field. You're not going to have the balance out Adolis glove. Alejandro Osuna is no slouch out in the field. Y'all saw that yesterday. Dude has a glove out there. He's got speed. He is going to be fine out there. It's not a big enough drop off from Adolis glove to Alejandro's glove to say, yeah, we're sticking with Adolis, even though he looks terrible up at the plate. Brandon, I'm not there with you, man. I think, and I'll just say this as our baseline logic for the Adolis trade conversation. If a team was interested in Leote, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but I'll say it as many times as I need to. If you had a taker for Leote Taveras, you don't think that there's going to be a taker for Adolis? That makes no sense to me. 0 sense to me. There's plenty of teams. And when I say plenty, I think nearly double digits would be interested in Adolis Garcia. Somebody is going to think that they can turn him around, that he can be a reclamation project. Absolutely. And as One Large Scoop has pointed out, Adolis, look, you get, I think, $7 million. And Adolis has some incentives I don't think he's going to hit, but you get a nice little chunk of change off of the books. I would love to see them pay Wyatt Langford as well, much like the Jackson Merrill deal. Whatever they paid Merrill, I would love to pay for Langford. I think we said, could you offer Langford 10 years, 200 mil and see if he bites? 10 years, 200 mil for Wyatt Langford. Who says no? You're going to have to pay him 6 more years anyways of the team control. You have him for 7 years. He's already played a year. So you've got 6 more years anyways with Wyatt under team control. So you're basically extending that out 4 years. I don't know if he'll take it or not, but I would love to do a 10-year, $200 million deal for Wyatt Langford and call it a day. I don't know if Wyatt takes it. I probably would if I was him, just because you never know what could happen. Look at Joey Gallo. Joey could have had a nice little contract from the Rangers in 2019 or whatever it was before we traded him, 2020. Rejected it. Look how that's gone for him. I think that a 10-year, $200 million deal is a good starting point. Yeah, Harris, the Dolly 50 homers. Yikes. Look, I know he wasn't like pounding his chest proclaiming 50 bombs in March, but he did say that was the goal. I think it was a mistake to say that out loud. Peter, deGrom or Malley? I think for Malley, realistically for Tyler Malley, it depends on what you want to go get. I could see the Rangers reloading with some prospects. I think you could get some solid double-A prospects for Mahle. He's only a half-season rental, so you're not going to go crazy. Could you flip Mahle for a bat of some sort? Yeah, but it would probably be a veteran bat, and again, maybe a half-year rental. I think if you're going to trade Mahle, you get prospects. I think there's other guys you could probably flip, and you could go out and get somebody that is MLB ready. But I think with Mahle, the play is probably going to be prospects. Reload in the pipeline. Pitching definitely isn't our biggest problem with this team. Absolutely. For Jonah Heim, what could you get? Jonah, to me, would be a package deal. Like maybe you send Jonah and Duran, and maybe you send somebody else, maybe a Foscue, or you send a Krim, and you kind of do this package of MLB ready players to go get a bigger name. Like I think you could package Heim, Duran, Krim, or Heim, Duran, Foscue, and you could probably get a nice little bat or a nice relief pitcher. I don't know. We'll see. But I think you've got to maybe package some of those guys in a trade together. Again, Heim, Duran, Krim, Foscue. Those would be the kind of guys I would be potentially looking to trade, putting together a package to go get that bat, to go get that big bullpen arm that would help improve the club. Yeah, Simeon's not getting traded. It's not even worth the conversation. The contract's too terrible. You're only going to be able to trade Marcus Semien when he's in like his last year of his deal, unless you just want to straight up eat the contract. Brandon, no, I don't love Rocker as a closer. Do I think he could be successful? Maybe. Do I think he's more valuable as a starter, like One Large Scoop said from YouTube? Absolutely. So I don't want to see that experiment. I think you have got to make sure that he continues to develop well as a starting pitcher. Foscue and Adolis, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I think that they could get something going, trading a vet that's MLB right now, Heim, Adolis, couple them with Foscue, Duran, Krim, other guys that maybe don't have a perfectly natural fit on the big league club. Like, think about it. Even Foscue, you're blocked, dude. Foscue is blocked almost everywhere. You've got Jake Berger. You've got Josh Young. You've got Walcott. You got Semien. You got Corey Seager. You got Josh Smith. Foscue's blocked everywhere. Duran is blocked everywhere. Blaine Krim, I think, is even blocked because he plays first base. Berger's there for 3 more years of club control, and then Corey Seager's probably going to move over there. Like Blaine Krim, Foscue, and also Duran, they're pretty much all blocked. So I would be putting them on the trade block and trying to get better by trading them. Do I think we're going to make a wild card spot? JJ, I would say yes. Surely we get to Francis tomorrow. Harris, I hope so. I hope so. And we're going to preview the matchup in a second, but I hope so. Patrol Stories, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Walcott is going to be a problem, Avery. And again, let's just bring it back to the original point. That's why some of these guys are expendable. Where are you going to play Foscue on the major league club with Duran? And look, he's already, I think, somebody they need to trade. But you've already got Young, Josh Smith, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Jake Berger, Sebastian Walcott. There is not a place for Justin Foscue. There's not a place for Duran, and there's not really a place for Berger. I'd trade all those guys. Philip, I'm with you. This month is going to tell you a lot. June, let's just dial it in. June is going to be a make or break. I feel like you've got to get 20 wins in June to be viable. 20 wins in June. Maybe that's asking too much. Maybe we bring it down to 17, 18. I think you've got to go 2/3. You've got to win 2/3 of the games in June to have a shot. We would be. Caleb, I've been saying that forever. If we can get into the postseason, look, I don't feel great about the bats. You've got to upgrade, but I would feel like we have a puncher's chance when you've got deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, maybe Tyler Mahle. I think they may trade him. If it's even questionable that we make the playoffs at the deadline, I could see them dealing Tyler Mahle with the surplus of pitching that we've got. Look, Kumar Rocker, he could kill it in AAA. You could feel really good about Rocker. And then Tyler Mahle maybe becomes a little bit expendable because you've got Rocker, you've got Bradford, you've got Gray, and I think Gray is probably going to be another guy that they trade. Corbin, I think he could be another guy that gets traded. Honestly, they probably should trade Corbin anyways, right? Kind of like what they did with Mike Lorenzen. You probably should trade Corbin anyways. I think Bradford is going to be a guy that goes back to the starting rotation. I think you probably trade Corbs and you just replace him with Bradford. Corbin would have to be like otherworldly. Even then, I think you probably still trade him. We keep going here. Appreciate all y'all. Thank you so much for all the comments. I think Sporzy comes back in July. I don't think he's going to be back in June. We do need him big time, Harris. Absolutely. We need Spores badly. That would be my choice for a closer if the Rangers don't go out and get a bona fide one at the trade deadline. Put Spores back out there. See what he can do. I know it's tough. I know it's hard when you've been injured this long and now you're being asked to close games. Maybe you don't start him there, but that would be the long-term goal for me. Get him back, maybe get his feet wet in the 7th, 8th inning, and then get Sporzy in the 9th, man. That'd be huge. Corey, I think, is going to be back. I hope it's tomorrow. I hope maybe they're going to give him tomorrow off after what was reported as a pretty rigorous workout today for both Corey Seager and Evan Carter. I could see them maybe giving Corey Seager the day off tomorrow, seeing how he responds, and then maybe he plays on Wednesday. Or maybe what they decide to do is they decide to play him in the Cardinals series and just hold him out of this series altogether. I could see that as well. So I think there's a couple of different scenarios with Corey. My guess, if I was betting on it, I think Corey is probably going to be back either Wednesday or back for the start of the Cardinals series. It's too bad we got to run into the Cardinals right now. It really is. I mean, they lost today to Baltimore, but the Cardinals are playing some pretty good baseball at this point. So, yeah, not a great time to run into St. Louis, but it is what it is. It is what it is at this point. But the Rangers are off on Thursday. So in my mind, it just wouldn't shock me if they hold out Corey Seager until Friday, right? The Cardinals series starts on Friday. You got that off day on Thursday. Maybe he'll be back Wednesday. I'll be happy with whatever, but that would be my guess. Rico, they kind of did. I did hear about Rocker going to the bullpen, but Chris Young and Bochy said that was a rumor. They didn't have much of a choice, Avery. They had a lot of guys that were on one-year deals leaving. Leclerc was up. You also had Robertson that was up. Yates was up. It wasn't necessarily CY reshaping. It was more just the cards that they were dealt with the contract situations. Appreciate all the comments, by the way. Thank you so much for all the likes, people that have followed. Woo! We have been going at it, man. We've been going at it. Eric, no, it was not a good game. Good to see you, brother. That series is in Arlington. They play the Cardinals. They host the Cardinals in Arlington starting Friday to Sunday series. Harris, I would love if CY would give David Robertson a call, but I think David Robertson wants real money to pitch. So I don't think CY wants to pay that. We'd almost have to get rid of John Gray or Adolis or somebody in order to afford it. Keep going. Which relief pitcher or closing pitcher would I shoot for? Look, it depends. I loved Ryan Helsley before the season started. The Cardinals are good. They're in a playoff spot or close to it. So I just don't know if Helsley's even going to be available. Devin Williams for the Yankees was another one. They might hold on to him. I don't know. Instead of sending Osuna down, how about Simeon? You can't send Simeon down. That's the thing. And I'm not trying to talk down to anybody because, look, baseball and the contracts and the DFAs, it's not the easiest thing to get. I mean, look, I've had to do my homework and remind myself a million times how it works. But Marcus Simeon has 10 plus years in the league. And the rule is when you get DFA'd, and you have that much service, you do not have to accept the assignment to the minor leagues. So if we DFA Marcus, or if we try and send him down, he can reject the assignment outright and become a free agent. And look, you're going to have to pay Marcus his entire salary anyways. There's going to be a club that signs him for minimum, and the Rangers won't have to pay him like, what, $800,000 for every year that he's playing. But that's it. You're still going to pay him the other $24.2 million. So Marcus Semien is just not a guy that can even be up for debate. I think Adolis has one minor league option. I think he has a minor league option left, but I don't know. Maybe he's even beyond optioning because of his years of service as well. We might have gone out and gotten Josh Hader, possibly. That was a really, really strong proposition there for a second. I'm actually probably glad we didn't go get Josh Hader. He's been pretty solid for Houston, but it's a lot of money to invest in a closer, man. It's just a lot of money for a guy that pitches one inning and maybe only pitches 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah, they do have about $3 million to spend. One large scoop, that's accurate. I think David Robertson wants more than $3 million. I think he was wanting like Kirby Yates money. The last thing I heard was David Robertson wanted Kirby Yates money. And that was what, like $12 million or something like that? So at this point, a third of the way through the year, he'd probably won about $8 million, maybe $7 million. So you're still not all the way there, right? You're still not all the way there. You'd have to trade somebody else to go get Robertson. So you'd have to maybe trade away, like Jonah Heim, I think, is making $5 million. That would be probably not my first choice of trade because, look, I think Jonah Heim is more valuable than Adolis Garcia. Jonah Heim is the commander of the pitching staff. Higgy has definitely gotten in the mix too, but I do think Jonah Heim provides value behind the dish. I would not have Jonah Heim up at the top of my list to trade. I'd probably start with Adolis Garcia if you're talking veterans, and then I would think about Duran. I would think about some of the other guys that have been up and down to AAA. Absolutely. Thomas Brown, what's good, sir? Thank you for the comment. I do think that it's definitely something I would like for the Rangers to keep up some of these young guys. Like, I don't want to see Osuna get sent back down so we can continue to watch Adolis Garcia and some of these other guys strike out every other at bat. I don't want to see it. I would love to see Alejandro Osuna stay up with the big league club. I don't know if it's going to happen. I will be actually a little bit surprised if they keep Osuna up, unless Osuna just goes on a tear. Like multi-hit games every other day. I think unless Osuna goes on a tear, he's probably getting sent down. Unless you traded Adolis Garcia, which would be a little unheard of in May. I could see them doing a trade in June. I don't know they're going to do it in May. I would love Osuna to stay. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. I feel like they may send Osuna back down, even if he has a nice little run. I don't particularly think that that's a great idea. I think that Osuna has proven and he's shown you all that you really need to see playing down at AA and AAA. The guy can get on base. He's got a good eye. He commands the strike zone. He knows what is not a great pitch to swing at and what is. I think he's shown that at every level. I feel like even in the 2 games that he's played, he passes the eye test. I'd like to see him stay up. I wonder if they're going to send him back down, though. We'll see. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. We got a bunch of people hanging today on this Memorial Day. Beautiful day here in Las Vegas. A bunch of y'all know that's where I've lived for the past 15 years or so. Sorry that the Rangers could not work it out for us on this Memorial Day, man. Love the day game. Love the Memorial Day. All of the different, all the different traditions around it. I just like it. The honoring of everybody that has given up their life for this great country. It's just a very sentimental, meaningful day. Wish the Rangers could have put a better product on the field. I do think Seager, maybe Paul will be back this series, but I'm not going to be shocked if they hold him out until the Cardinals win. By the way, special thank you to all my subscribers on TikTok and all of the paid members that are on YouTube. Appreciate it so much. It's kind of something small that I started up a few weeks ago. I know there's a lot of y'all that have been with me for a while in this journey, listening, hanging out, post game, watching the videos that I put out nearly every day. And look, the likes, the shares, the follows, it's all awesome. And it's always going to be awesome. I don't take those for granted in the least bit. But if you are wanting to give back just a little bit more to everything that we're doing here at Right on Rangers, I have opened up a little subscription, $2.99 a month on TikTok or on YouTube. And what it gets you is this: an exclusive Discord chat that I set up probably about 2 weeks ago. We've got about 15 or so people in it at this point. It's been great, a lot of fun going back and forth during the games, late night hours. The Rangers are keeping us up, making us lose sleep. It's been a great group so far. I've loved it. So you get that, and you also get priority replies in the lives and in the comments as the show continues to get bigger and bigger. So again, you're looking for a small way that you can get back to the show, hit that subscribe button right next to the chat. I would be very, very appreciative if you consider it. If you're on YouTube, I'm going to drop the link to join in the comments section. Again, so much of what we do is always going to be free. But for those looking to give back a little bit, support me and the content that I put out here right on Rangers, there is the link for y'all in the chat on YouTube, X, Facebook, all that good stuff. And again, you're on TikTok, want to give back in that small way, hit that subscribe button right next to the text box where you type for the chat. Appreciate you considering it. All right, y'all, let's keep on going. So tomorrow's game, I think we need to start moving forward. We've got Nathan Eovaldi on the bump. Evo versus Francis is the matchup. Francis, 2-6 with a 5.54 ERA on the year, which probably means he's going to pitch like 7 shutout innings tomorrow, because that's just how it goes right now with how Texas is playing. So we've got Francis having faced, looks like about 8 hitters in the Rangers' available offensive players. So we've got Duran 0 for 2. Dolly 1 for 4 with a home run. Heim 0 for 7. Higgy 0 for 1 against Francis, the Jays' probable starter for tomorrow's game. Josh Young 0 for 4. Wyatt Langford 1 for 2. Marcus Semien 1 for 5. Josh Smith 2 for 5. So only Dolly with a career home run versus Francis. And then Evo on the other side. Bo Bichette in 25 at-bats has a home run and a 320 average with an 800 OPS. So Bo Bichette may be a guy to be careful with tomorrow for Nathan Eovaldi. Clement 1 for 3. Guerrero, he mashes against Evo, man. 435 average and 23 at-bats with a home run. So far we've got Bichette and Guerrero. No real surprises, but those guys have hit Evo well. Alejandro Kirk is 6 for 10. The more I look at this, the more I'm worried for Nathan Eovaldi. We got a lot of Blue Jays that have hit Evo well. Santander looks like he is 6 for 24 with the home run, 250 average. Springer. Is Springer hurt right now? Maybe. Look, I don't remember seeing him today, so maybe he was hurt today. Did not play today. So hurt? All right. So we've got Springer, who's also hit Evo well, but I don't think he's going to play. He has a home run against Evo. Stefanik, 1 for 2. Straw looks like 3 for 11. So the Jays lineup has actually hit Evo pretty decent. Pretty decent. If they don't win tomorrow, that is going to be frustrating. Shane, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, Evo, though, has not had a ton of success against some of these Jays hitters. Hopefully, tomorrow can be a different day. Evo sporting a 1.60 ERA, top 3 in ERA in Major League Baseball. It's good stuff. Good stuff. So we'll see what he brings. Francis, let's look at his last 3 games. Let's look at his last 3 games here. So Francis against San Diego, 4 innings, 2 earned runs. Against Detroit, 4 2/3, 4 earned runs. Against Seattle, 6 2/3, 3 earned runs. So in his last 3 outings, he's given up 9 earned runs, and he's pitched about 15 innings. Like I said, should be a day where we should be able to get some hits on the board, but you know how it goes. of late with the Rangers. Even these pitchers with 5+ ERAs seem to find a way to shut down the Rangers offense. I'll knock on wood just in case. Diego, what's good, man? Let's go Rangers. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you, brother. Keep going. I think we're caught up on TikTok, so perfect. Make sure I didn't miss anything on YouTube. Yeah, Luke, I'm with you. By the way, thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for the comment. Berger has been solid since coming back up from AAA. Had the 115-mile-an-hour home run yesterday. Dude hits the ball harder than I think any other Ranger on the team right now. John, we definitely do need better pitching. I'm 100% with you on that. If you're talking about the bullpen, I think the starting pitching's been great. Bullpen, I think, could improve a little bit. Look, I know Robert Garcia gets the save yesterday, but the starting pitching's been great. I don't think there's any improvement needed to the starting rotation. The bullpen, I think you've got to improve. Bullpen hasn't been terrible. I know they've given up a couple of leads over the past week or so, but the bullpen has not been terrible. You got to get some reinforcements, though. I don't think, Brandon, we're probably going to be making any kind of trades until probably mid to late June. So I think we've got to ride this out a few more weeks. I could see mid to late June, and then in July, some trades starting to materialize. I think you probably got to deal with what we've got for the next few weeks, except for, with the exception of maybe some moves up and down with the AAA and the big league club. Guys coming outside of the organization, I really don't see happening until probably mid to late June or July. Chapman trade was in May, I believe. So it's not totally unprecedented. It just doesn't happen a lot. I know Arias got traded to the Padres pretty early on too. Let me see. Chapman trade to Texas. Let's see if I can figure this out. The Chapman trade to Texas was June 30th, 2023. When was the Arias trade? Luis Arias trade to San Diego. Let's see when the news was on that. May 4th. So that one was early last year. The Arias trade was in May. The Marlins were like terrible. Definitely weren't going to make it. Maybe the Rockies, maybe the White Sox would be willing to trade right now. I mean, I could look around at some of the other standings and stuff around the league, but maybe some of those teams would be willing to trade. I know that we brought up a couple of the Rockies players in previous lives. Like right now, the White Sox, I think, would be willing. The Marlins, maybe they're 21-30 right now, so maybe, but I don't know. They're 8 games out of it. I don't think they're going to throw in the towel. The Pirates, I think, would probably be interested in trading. Rockies for sure. And then the Orioles, man, I don't know what the Orioles are going to do. They are 9 games out of a playoff spot right now. Everybody else is kind of like within striking distance. I don't know. Keep going. Bochy lost the clubhouse. I don't think he's lost the clubhouse. I just think genuinely there are just some players that have regressed so badly. You just can't even blame the coaches. I don't think you can absolve Bruce Bochy. If a team is losing like this, I think the head coach deserves some responsibility. But I definitely think Boch is working with a tough deck here. Miguel, we may be sellers. I just don't think you're going to have that be a thing right now. Texas is 3 games out of a playoff spot, right? You're not going to have Texas sell or have that mindset 3 games out of a playoff spot with like 107 games left. You're 3 games out of a playoff spot. Godfather Texas, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the follow. Go Pirates. Yeah, look, if we needed pitching, I'd love to go out and get Paul Skeens. I don't think we're going to go get Paul Skeens, but look, O'Neal Cruz, is he available? Shoot, I'll take that. The team is different with Seager, Justin. I will say that 100%, but I don't think they're a Corey Seager away from fixing this offense. It's going to help, but I think you've got to go out and get a bat. You really do. Got to go out and get a bat. All right, y'all. Does Haggerty have any options left? I think they're going to DFA Haggerty, man. I don't think, one large scoop, that they're even going to keep Haggerty around. Luke, we already kind of talked about this real briefly, though. Bochy and CY both got asked about Rocker to the pen, and they both denied it. I mean, they left the door like maybe a smidge open, kind of just saying, we're going to do whatever's best to help the club. But no, we don't foresee him moving to the bullpen in the short or the long term. So anyways, but yeah, I think Haggerty could be the guy that gets DFA'd, maybe in favor of Osuna staying up on the big league club, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Andrew Heaney, they don't need Andrew Heaney. They've got too many starting pitchers. I mean, Andrew Heaney, I think, could go somewhere and get traded, but I don't think the Rangers are going to go trade for Andrew Heaney. And I love Heen Dog, but I don't think Heen Dog's coming back. Corey is a quiet leader, no doubt. He is a quiet leader, no doubt. Look, I think that getting him back is going to help, but I still say you got to go out and you got to get somebody else. All right, let's sum it all up. deGrom, off day for Jacob deGrom, but still almost through a quality start. Something about deGrom, though, in lefties, man. He's been giving up a lot of home runs. And when I say a lot, it's probably not that much compared to other pitchers. But deGrom feels like the lefties have been taking him deep this year. I don't know. But look, Jacob deGrom's worst day is a really good day for a majority of pitchers in this league. deGrom, no strikeouts today in this outing for the first time in his career. Crazy. But again, the dude pitched well enough for us to win and nearly win a quality start. Justin, if I think that might be coming if Simeon continues to struggle, but I'm not sure if it's going to be anytime soon, maybe in June sometime. Going beyond that, we talked about Adolis Garcia. The at-bats in the 5th and the 7th inning, painful. No, he had a hit today. No, he won the game yesterday or was a big part of us winning the game yesterday. I still say trade him. Get whatever value you can. There's only a year and a half left on that contract before he's an unrestricted free agent. Get what you can from him. And then we just said in general, any guy with less than 2 years of control, you got to at least consider a trade. Even if it's just a soft reset, as Philip put it, I think you've got to consider a number of different options here. Tomorrow with Evo on the mound, you always feel great. But if the offense continues to struggle, Evo is going to have very limited margin for error facing a Blue Jays lineup that has actually hit him pretty well. Pretty well. So we will be back tomorrow. When is the game tomorrow? The game tomorrow is nighttime, I'm assuming. My computer's not loading great. 7:05 Central Time start. So we're back to an evening start. Wednesday is going to be a night game as well. Thursday, day off. Good stuff. So we'll be back. Hopefully after a Rangers win, man. Hopefully. Crossing our fingers. I want to say I appreciate the support from all y'all. Thank you so much for the follows. Thank you for everybody that's shared the live. Thank you for everybody that's been liking the live, especially on TikTok and on YouTube and every other social media outlet as well. Appreciate all of y'all hanging out. Thank you. Thank you. And look, again, wanting a little bit of an additional way that you can support. Thanks for considering $2.99 membership on TikTok. Get you into our Discord. It's been awesome so far. We're a couple weeks into it. It's been great. And then also priority replies and lives and videos as the show gets bigger and bigger. Thanks for considering it. I'll drop the link in YouTube and in X and every other social one more time. Again, paid member on TikTok or on YouTube. Get you into our private Discord. Get you priority replies in the comments and the lives. Thank you for considering. Appreciate all y'all. And hopefully tomorrow will be a new day for the Rangers and for this team in general. I feel a little bit better, just a little bit better. But this offense has got to get going, man. This is getting a little depressing at times. We're going to make it through. It's part of being a fan. We don't just celebrate and do these lives in the good times. We're here in the bad times. No fair weather. We are here, and we're going to keep being here. And it starts again tomorrow. Love y'all. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Justin, thank you for that shout out. The Discord has been incredible. Again, hit that subscribe button right next to the chat if you're interested supporting what I'm doing here at Right on Rangers a little bit more, and you get a couple of sweet perks as well. Thank you, guys. Love you. Hope you have a good rest of your Memorial Day. Enjoy the day tomorrow. We'll be back. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.